I had to really figure out where I fit in this world. And I mean, where do I fit as a nail tech? And I always say, like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not just a nail tech. And I had to figure out what I was looking for and what I needed. And so I realized I needed nail friends, right? I needed beauty industry friends. I needed like minded individuals. So when it came down to community, I looked for people like that. And not only
Right.
outside of that, for me, I want to be that for other people. So if I could be that one helping hand to bring you here and understand that you're not alone, you're not doing it by yourself. Entrepreneurship is hard AF, right? I know we can cuss,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm trying to limit that. But true entrepreneurship and this journey is very hard. And a lot of times we're
Right.
so lost because we think we're in it alone, that we have no community together. And so over the years, I've been working really hard, and then I joined the Spa Wash tribe, of course, and then it was just like my community expanded, and which really led me into
Mm-hmm.
realizing that I needed to do more community things.
Polish in my hand, I'm ready to create each nail a masterpiece. I can hardly wait. Soft pastels or vibrant hues, each tells a tale in their artistry of nails. Nothing ever fails. With each swirl and twirl, let the magic begin. In this kingdom of gloss, there's no end to the wind. Gloss on my fingertips, watch them shine bright. Painted like a canvas, colors taking flight. Feeling fierce and fabulous, I'm ready to ignite. Slaying the nail game every single night. Nails and beauty talk with Asia the Bird. Nails and beauty talk with Asia the Bird.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Nails and Beauty Talk. I am your host, Asia the Bird. Today, we have a very special guest with us today. She is a nail tech and the owner of MYJNailz. Please welcome Jasmine Jones. Hello, Jasmine, and welcome.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
Just absolutely glad to have you. So I want to go ahead and get started by asking where you're originally from and tell us about your upbringing.
So I'm originally from Freeport, Illinois, this
Mm-hmm.
small town girl with big city dreams. I was raised, of course, with both my parents. I am a PK kid, so that's one fun fact people don't know is that I grew up in church my entire life,
Mm-hmm.
and I am the baby of five.
Wow.
hmm
Wow, that's
So
incredible. So I want to get into as far as your school experience. So what was like your school experience, like grade school, college, nail school, things like that?
well, like I said, I'm from a small town, so we had like one place for kindergarten, and then
Mm-hmm.
you had like five elementary schools, and then we had one place where middle school was like fifth and sixth grade, and
Mm-hmm.
my high school, fun fact, it was our mascot was a pretzel. So I've never ever heard anybody else. I always say that, like, what people like, what's one thing people should know? And I'm like, my high school mascot was a pretzel. No, no, no animal, no night, no nothing. We are the Freeport Pretzels.
Mhm.
Nail school was amazing for me. I went to nail school at summer of the eighth grade. So when I was going into high school, the summer before high school, I went to nail school called Joseph Phillips Academy that my
Mhm.
mother owned.
Wow.
So I am a
Mhm.
second generation nail tech.
Oh, wow, that's incredible. Yeah, I find
Yes,
it so interesting with your mascot, it's a pretzel,
it is a
but,
pretzel.
with when I went to high school, it was usually an animal, it was an eagle.
Eagle, a cougar, the
Yeah.
bulldogs. Like, I guess what I was told from our city used to be a beer and pretzel factory. Like, it was really
Okay.
well known for that, I guess, way back in Abraham Lincoln times or something. And so that's
Mhm.
what they named it after. So I guess because they couldn't go with the Freeport beers, so they went with the Freeport pretzels.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, considering that you're from, like, a small town, like, in Illinois, were you, like,
hmm
close to, like, Chicago, or were you, like, further away from Chicago?
We are 2 hours west of Chicago.
Wow.
So like literally the sticks. like I tell people, you don't see nothing but cornfields on the way to my city, which is now a town and not like,
Mm,
they say the city, but it's really considered a town. They took a lot of stoplights out and made four-way stops and things like
mm-hmm.
that. So I grew up in a town.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right, exactly. So what were like your earliest memories in regards to nails and beauty? And was there anyone in your family that were involved in the beauty industry?
Absolutely. My earliest memory started at about 5 years old. My mother was a master cosmetologist. And so I grew up in the beauty industry. Ever since I was five, I used to fold towels in her salon. I used to answer
Mm-hmm.
the phone. I used to help her book appointments. And then I literally was a shop baby. And so
Mm-hmm.
my mom always worked corporate, but was also a full time entrepreneur. So I
Mm-hmm.
just always eat and breathe the beauty industry. She did hair and nails. I took
Mm-hmm.
on the nail aspect more than hair. I just absolutely hated hair. I did not like it. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan of hair either. When I took cosmetology courses in my high school, I was like, no.
And had I thought, and honestly, because she owned a cosmetology and a nail school, I had the opportunity to go to cosmetology school, which I went, and I just absolutely didn't like it. And so, had I
Mm-hmm.
known what I know now in transferring, moving states, and things like that, it definitely would have been an easier transition for me just to go ahead and be a full cosmetologist. And that just means because it opened up the room for me to do other things legally, right? Like in the beauty
Right. Mm-hmm.
industry and not just put me to this one ballpark of just being a nail tech that at the time like that I limited myself to, but I was also 14, 15 years old, so I was a
Mm-hmm.
kid. So what she was trying to
Mm-hmm.
do for me, I was just like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I'm gonna just do nails, and I did just that. So here we are, 21 years
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
later.
Yeah, absolutely. So you have your own nail business called MyJNailz. Tell us about your nail business and also the services that you offer in your salon.
So we are a full service nail salon and we are now a nail spa. And I transitioned to a nail spa because my goal is I'm nothing like the average nail artist, right? I don't
Right.
just say I'm a nail tech, I am a nail design architect. And I house some of the best also nail techs and enthusiasts here. We offer full range of services from gel X to structure gel to liquid
Mm-hmm.
gel, pedicures, still what you would still get in your mainstream. And we will
Mm-hmm.
be adding an esthetician. So I'm super excited about that. That's our newest venture coming up over the next couple of weeks. So we just
Mm-hmm.
are all things nails, and the health of your nails is our number one priority. So I own and operate a boutique nail spa. We want you to love it here. We come, the
Mm-hmm.
environment is very inviting. Come get your wine, your tea, your coffee, maybe a snack, and some good conversation and relaxation.
Yeah, absolutely, most definitely. So you made videos talking about nail health and nail care, especially when it comes down to nail disorders and diseases. We have seen videos where the nail tech will work on clients' feet that will contain fungus. So in regards to nail health, what is your take on nail techs working on feet with fungus, and what advice would you give to clients who have nail fungal infections?
Ooh, child, I feel like this is the hottest topic and have been for a long time because I
Mm-hmm.
am so big on the health of the natural nail.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, I guess, disheartening for me as a tenured nail tech to see us
Mm-hmm.
doing things outside of the scope of what we're
Mm-hmm.
supposed to do. I am not a licensed medical nail tech. I do feel that if that's the realm you'd like to go in and you want to service clients who have troubled issues, because if we have a problem to solve and your job is to solve a problem, then you should
Mm-hmm.
take the health of their nails. That should be your priority. Meaning,
Mm-hmm.
if they're going to come to you, there should be a treatment plan with that. it's not just about the aesthetics. And I feel like now that we're in this big social media world, people just care about it being cute. And if you take yourself outside of being the professional, right, and be the client, all you see is ugly feet. All you see is, oh my God, I have these issues. Now I have somebody who can solve them. But you still don't know the knowledge and lack the knowledge that there are things going on, and that
Right.
this is not healthy. And I need to be healthy. Like my nails and my feet need to be healthy. This is
Right.
not what it looks like. And I know that I cannot service everybody, right? So it was important for me to start Tip Tuesday, to start bringing insight for the clients and the professionals, because a lot of times we're now in this world that people are not licensed, and it's really hurting us a lot. And so therefore there's no knowledge there. So the diseases that we get, and knowing like, hey, I'm not supposed to touch that. I shouldn't be doing that. We lack that right now in the industry. And right now I feel like it's about the dollar, and it's about the views and the likes and
the clicks.
And it just shouldn't be occurring. Nothing's wrong
Right.
with seeing one thing and being like, oh, well, I broke a nail, I got a chipped nail. But once the nails start separating, once the nails are black, once they are discolored, you should not be servicing them if you are not a licensed medical nail tech or advanced medical nail tech, which just means you took the time to say, hey, this is my specialty, and I take the health of your nails way more serious, and this is what I do. So to the client, I definitely would say do your research. But because we're so limited in that way, meaning people don't know that medical nail techs exist in a lot of
Right.
areas, so they don't know what to do, and they trust you as the professional to give them the right guidance. So that's my take.
Yeah, and the thing is that like I've seen people in these salons like do like these like pedicures, stuff like that, knowing that these some of these people's toes have like fungus and stuff like that,
Mhm.
and plus it's not legal to use like also a cheese grater type tool either.
Mhm. Mhm.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it's definitely like people are doing this stuff for like entertainment or like clicks and views and likes and stuff like that. But it's also a thing of promoting miseducation
Absolutely.
and, not even educating upcoming nail techs and nail artists what not to do as far as servicing clients in terms of feet, hands, and stuff like that.
And I also feel like when you say that, the lack of education begins in the school. Where does it begin?
Yeah.
I don't understand why advanced nail tech and medical nail tech is not automatically offered as an extended type of program in schools
Right.
these days. And I feel like that's where we in the nail industry have not faced deregulation, but it's starting already with cosmetologists. So you have to understand that if
Yeah.
it's already starting, it's nothing but a trickle down effect. And it's only going to get worse because the society and the world doesn't understand the importance of that. And saying like, oh, I'm a diabetic, you shouldn't be doing that. It doesn't even have to deal with the trauma. It's still, even, are you supposed to be servicing a client like this? Are you
Right.
even asking, hey, do you have health issues? Are you on blood thinners? I happen just to have a medical background, so of course I go a little deeper anyway, prior to me having a medical nail tech license. But I just feel like that's just the lack thereof. And I feel like if schools would do their part, and say, hey, let's offer this as an extra incentive, or it might be another 100 hours tacked on after you take your state board and you come back and you finish this, we will
Right.
go way farther in the nail industry.
Yeah, absolutely. So you talked about in a video about exfoliating your body. What are the benefits to exfoliation, and what are some products or natural remedies for exfoliating and moisturizing the skin?
Ask me one more time.
So
That was a mouthful. I was like, wait.
So in a video, you talk about exfoliating your body. What are the benefits to exfoliating, and what are some products or natural remedies for exfoliating and moisturizing the skin?
Okay, well, first of all, we should be exfoliating at least 2 times a week, right? Maximum is 3, but minimum is 2. you don't realize how much dead skin you truly have. So the benefit of exfoliating is really to remove the dead skin. You think that because you bathe every day, um, that you're using the right products, and sometimes the soap is nothing but just a barrier. I have switched soaps like to Castile soap to really truly like clean my skin. Um, on top of understanding the difference of when I'm using Dove or when I'm using Castile, and you'll see the water just roll off your body if the soap is over oily or it's truly not penetrating. And so we have so much
Mm-hmm.
dead skin on our hands, our feet, just our
Mm-hmm.
elbows, just like our everywhere. And it took me one
Mm-hmm.
time to get a body shampoo right, and I realized like, oh shoot, I'm dirty. I didn't realize that I really had all this dirt because I think I clean every day. And so that sparked me to start my skincare line. And so I own 1121 Skin and Body, where skin and beauty
Wow.
meet. And so I have uh, two signature scrubs right now. We have a body butter and an oil. So we have our Nourish, which is our detoxifying. So if you wax, perfect for extreme exfoliation from head to toe.
Mm-hmm.
That is a salt-based scrub. And then we have our sugar scrub, which will be more of a daily exfoliating. Just saying,
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm now in a routine that I need to do this to keep my skin healthy, to keep my skin soft. And then we
Right.
follow up with our body oil and our whipped butter. So just a
Mm-hmm.
good overall full skincare line that I have.
Yeah, that's really, really great. I want to
Yes.
get into as far as you and Nail by Tammy.
Mm-hmm.
So I did have Nail by Tammy on my podcast a while back, a few months back. And you and Nail by Tammy have your own podcast called We Talk Nails. So tell us about how you and Tammy first met and how did you both grow a friendship?
So Tammy and I met just in the industry. We had,
Mm-hmm.
and I think our first, if I think back, our first true meetup in person was like Poochie had a workshop. So when Poochie used to do, shout out to Poochie, when she used to do her big, like her workshops, when she started doing that, it was like me, Tammy, Coco. We just was in the room together and we just sparked conversation, just seeing each other over the time at beauty shows and things like
Mm-hmm.
that. But we never had really just took the time to really like sit down and talk and things like that. We always took pictures or, hey girl, how you doing type of situation, life good. And then we moved on. And then it took for us to fast forward maybe about 4 or 5 years to like 2021, and we both had joined the Spa Boss Tribe looking to like elevate our business. And when we seen each other on there, one of the requirements was being in the Spa Boss Tribe was to get you a boss bestie. And so when she
Mm-hmm.
seen my name, she was like, we kind of was just like, oh, we already familiar with each other. Nail techs were very small in that realm and in that room, in that space. So
Mm-hmm.
we just decided to become besties, and it just clicked from there, like authentically. And we just started talking every day. And she came in town one time and sat down, and I was like, I got this idea and I need some help with it. And then that's where
Mm-hmm.
We Talk Nailz was birthed. And
Mm-hmm.
in conversation, just us over building a relationship, we realized we went to the same college. We went to, and we knew each other like in the streets. Like we went to TSU, so the Tennessee
Mm-hmm.
State University in Nashville.
All
And so
right.
we kind of, she's older than me a little bit, but a lot of the same circles we were in unknowingly, right? So as we started building
Right.
our relationship and we started putting two and four people together, and we would, it just came about. And when I say that's my sister, that's my girl, and I love her to death, and I'm so thankful for her.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I love what you both are doing in terms of not only like having the podcast in itself, but both of you have your own businesses. And, I like how with Nail by Tammy, she's teaching the youth by doing the teen nail workshops,
Mm-hmm.
who want to get into the industry, because I think it's very important, what you guys are doing as far as educating the youth, especially this is the new generation coming up as far as
Mm-hmm.
the nail industry. So, definitely, education is very, very important. The right education is very, very important because, like how we said earlier, there's so much like not only lack of education, but also miseducation too.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's a breath of fresh air to really have people, especially people who have their own nail schools, teaching the right stuff of what people should know to keep up to date and stay in the know.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And
absolutely. Most definitely.
we actually just added two, when there were two, now there's Three's Company. So we added Diamond Love Nails. Diamond is from Lansing, Michigan. And so as we begin to realize just like where we're moving individually and still
Mm-hmm.
wanting to keep us together, we decided that we kind of needed someone else. And so we added
Mm-hmm.
Diamond to the crew, and right now we're on the rebirth. So we took a pause and we're figuring it out where everybody's at with their life so that we can come back better than ever.
Yeah, absolutely, most definitely. So what has been some of your favorite nail products for nail art and nail services?
Hands down, my favorite. I'm an old school nail tech. I tell people that all the time. I am a Tammy Taylor girl. Okay, so
Okay.
when it comes to my powders, also I'm an acrylic girl. Now I do
Mm-hmm.
all things, but I am an acrylic girl. And
Mm-hmm.
so when it comes to my powders, I love Tammy Taylor. For like my neutral, my pinks. She's just hands down my go-to. I use her primer, the best primer that I've ever used, like that. And then my
Mm-hmm.
liquid is Premium Nails. So if you guys are ever looking for a good universal liquid, Premium Nails has the best liquid. I'm kind of like
Mm-hmm.
a brand mixer, so I don't really
Mm-hmm.
stick with specific lines. I deal
Right.
with like if it works, it works. I'm a creature of habit. And so next up, I guess I would say like my favorite top coat is Poochie's and then Koopa right now. And it
Mm-hmm.
depends on what I'm doing. I have like things specifically for, if I'm just doing polish, I have a top coat for that. If it's just a nice, clean, neat foundational set, I have a top coat for that. If I'm doing nail
Right.
art, I have a top coat for that. So
Right.
in my top three will be Poochie, Koopa, and NSI LED. Those are my
Mm-hmm.
favorites. A lot of people don't even know NSI exists. They are amazing old school brand that have been around for a long time. And when it comes to nail art, um, I am kind of like it all. I don't have a specific paint. Um,
Right.
I use a lot of nail art boutiques. So I use a lot of Poochie products. When it comes to my
Mm-hmm.
brushes, I'm more brush picky than product picky. So I
Mm-hmm.
prefer, like, there's a brand called Honeybee. They have
Mm-hmm.
a location here in Atlanta, and they have some of the best stripe liner brushes. And also,
Mm-hmm.
I think J. Nicole, Nails by J. Nicole Collection.
Yeah, Jane Nicole.
Yes,
Yeah.
her stripers are like top tier, and that's full black
Mm-hmm.
girl magic. So I'm super with small brands outside of just like my acrylic. I like really dealing with smaller brands and patronizing them. So those will be,
Mm-hmm.
and like Blue Street Crystals.
Mm-hmm.
Those are probably like my top products that I use the most and that I
Mm-hmm.
love.
Yeah, yeah, right. Absolutely. What are some things you like about the nail industry, and what are some things you think the nail industry could be improved on?
Ooh, I think my biggest love, I guess, would be for the nail industry is that our level of creativity and that the
Mm-hmm.
sky is ultimately the limit. And
Mm-hmm.
now that I've been in the game a long time, so I've been in the game pre social media and now current social media,
Mm-hmm.
really being able to see um, us from all over, right? Pre
Mm-hmm.
social media, you don't see nails but in magazines, or you only thought that the industry was one way, which was the standard nail salon way, because this is all that we ever had. So now
Mm-hmm.
that we are able to be on social media and we're able
Mm-hmm.
to see like our sisters in the industry and things like that, I really love like
Mm-hmm.
the creativity. I love the people that I have networked with, the brands that I have networked with, and I guess the miseducation, like you stated earlier, I think will be the most biggest thing. And I think when people hear education, they just think one thing, like, oh, diseases and things like that. No, education is full, from nail
Right.
art to foundation to business. And I think that's one thing
Yeah.
in the industry that's ultimately lacking right now is business. Yeah, we are talented. Yes, we know how to do nails, but we have no idea how to operate business. And I ain't talking just, oh,
Right.
let me open a nail salon. I'm talking about true paperwork, true end of day reports, and things
Right.
like that. I feel like that is the one of the biggest things that we need help and we need improving on. Because if we chose to think of ourselves bigger, like me, I'm a corporation. You can't tell me that I'm not a corporate and that I don't run a corporation, because that's how big I think of my business.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Yeah,
think that if we
absolutely.
could change that and get people to understand that it's not just a hobby, and for so long, beauty industry had been looked at just a hobby, and it's not. I tell people all the
Right.
time, your stylists get recognition, your hairstylist, your makeup artist, your esthetician, your barber, but us nail techs, we are lower on the totem pole.
Right.
We don't, our price point is lower, so it takes us a greater time to make the money that they're making. Even a lash tech
Right.
comes out with a full set at the same amount of time, making more money on their bottom line than we do as nail techs. I mean, it depends on where
Right.
you're at, don't get me wrong, because I'm
Mm-hmm.
now a seasoned, more higher tier nail tech, but I wasn't always that. And mainstream
Mm-hmm.
is not always high tier. um I
Right.
think that's just my biggest thing I would change. And what I feel right now is like, let's get to business and let's figure out how to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what is your perspective on social media and how it's impacted nail brands and businesses?
Of course, I feel like I have a love-hate relationship with social media, right? And I
Mhm.
mean, because I'm a creative, but doing content is a little, like, not difficult, but it's a little difficult, if it makes sense. Just
Right.
really buckling down. And now that we're in the world of, people want to see your work. Years ago used to be like, oh, I do nails, here's goes my card. They're like, oh, okay. Or simply, who did your hair? Oh, I could refer them. But now they're like, what's their Instagram? Let me see their
Mhm.
work. And I think that
Mhm.
it has been very impactful. But what I think also, what I go back to saying all the time, is that now it's so misleading. It's so
Yeah.
misleading because everybody feels that they can do it. And now we only see the art, right? You don't see what's past that, to understand, is this
Yeah.
a good set of nails? Oh, this is cute. But are those nails structurally together? Are they flat? Do you have an apex? Do you know truly what you're doing? And I think
Right.
now, because of social media, people feel, oh, I'm a 1 year nail tech. Now I'm ready to go teach classes, girl, because now I can tell you what to do. And I'm just like,
Mhm.
wait, slow down. Slow down. We're
Right.
not ready for that. And so I think it helps and it hinders. It helps because, of course, this is how now we're growing our business. There's no way at this
Mhm.
point, as a beauty professional, not even just a nail tech, to really
Mhm.
fully grow outside of social media. Word of
Mhm.
mouth and people interaction is dying.
Yeah.
Outside of that, they don't. We could all sit at a table and we know everybody got their phone out. Nobody's having true conversations anymore, and so
Mhm.
I feel like that's the biggest thing that's hindering us. But then I also feel like it's that
Mhm.
double edged sword. Like, it's a good and it's a bad. We
Mhm.
need it, but at times it's not beneficial.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. So, I want to get into this next question. So, you're all about giving back to the community, especially to the youth. How would you define community and why is giving back so important?
For me, when I break down the word community, one is unity, right? It's the coming
Mhm.
together, and I feel like the come is us coming together in a united front and a united way. And I had to really figure out where I fit in this world. And I mean, where do I fit as a nail tech? And I always say, like, I'm
Mhm.
not just a nail tech. And I had to figure out what I was looking for and what I needed. And so I realized I needed nail friends, right? I needed beauty industry friends. I needed like minded individuals. So when it came down to community, I looked for people like that. And not only
Right.
outside of that, for me, I want to be that for other people. So if I could be that one helping hand to bring you here and understand that you're not alone, you're not doing it by yourself. Entrepreneurship is hard AF, right? I know we can cuss,
Mhm.
But I'm trying to limit that. But true entrepreneurship and this journey is very hard. And a lot of times we're
Right.
so lost because we think we're in it alone, that we have no community together. And so over the years, I've been working really hard, and then I joined the Spa Boss Tribe, of course, and then it was just like my community expanded, and which really led me into
Mm-hmm.
realizing that I needed to do more community things. And because I
Mm-hmm.
started as a youth, I wanted to let them know that you have a like you can figure out what you want to do in life, and you don't just have to do one thing. And now in this
Right.
world and the way the economy is, you need a talent. These kids are so talented. I'm a mother of a teenager myself, and I
Mm-hmm.
have a young, my baby is 5, and she enjoys her Saturdays here with me. This is the youth. So now I'm growing her as our next generation. So I figure if I could just be one voice to one little girl, I mentor so many young girls just to get them to see, one, you are
Mm-hmm.
talented, you can do this. Don't let people deter you from something that you like and something that you are
Right.
potentially good at. Nails wasn't just like a thing for me. I'm truly good at it, and I had to realize that it was truly my gift. And so I think for me,
Mm-hmm.
giving back to the youth, I just really wanted them to understand that they could see a brown girl like them doing it, and it wasn't just about the money, but just really saying like, I'm truly self-employed. I truly only bet on me every day, and I truly live this dream that I had from a 10-year-old little girl. And now
Mm-hmm.
for me, I look to give that to those 10-year-old little girls to see that they might not know anybody that's an entrepreneur close to them. They might not know, but now they
Mm-hmm.
have social media. Now they have all these things, and they realize, I like
Right.
doing hair. I like doing makeup. I like doing nails. How do I do this for real? Because the next
Mm-hmm.
generation ain't gonna work for nobody. The jobs are gonna be the ones struggling. Everybody wants to be an entrepreneur.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So that's just my goal. I'm big on community. I'm continuously building, working on my own outside of the ones that I belong to, from mom groups to mental health groups to nail tech groups. I just strive to just put a sprinkle everywhere that I could touch.
Yeah, absolutely. So I want to get into, as far as with your journey being in the beauty industry, what are some of the valuable lessons that you've learned?
Ooh, I think my biggest and valuable lesson right now is that, and when I say this out loud to the public, what I mean is you don't need anybody. Yes, you need people, but a lot of times we get in the industry and we feel like we can't do anything like alone, like what you're doing right here with this platform, or being able, like, this is a me thing. Yes, I'm bringing on and I'm bringing insight, but I don't have to have a partner. I can do it by myself. And I think that building that confidence um, is what is needed right now, and building the
Right.
confidence to say, and what our biggest taken away is that I think what has held me back so far in my career is that I felt like I couldn't do things by myself, right? So not really
Mm-hmm.
honing in on my knowledge and understanding, like, I need people, right? So I'm not saying I don't need
Right.
people. I
Yeah.
don't need Tammy with me to do We Talk Nails, and I don't need certain things, but I'm smarter than I knew, and that I put my best foot forward. And so just
Mm-hmm.
understanding and finding me a place in the industry is my biggest takeaway right now, was just really like
Mm-hmm.
focusing on me and growing me, and understanding like we all do the same thing, but where do I fit in here?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, I think it's important to do things on your own. Like, not like entirely like how you were saying, but it's like, like, in what way, how would you be able to make that change for the industry? And I think that, the whole thing, with my dad saying, like, hey, you should do a podcast. So I've done, Nails and Beauty Talk, I got like over 400 interviews now.
Mm-hmm.
And so the thing is that, like, it really has, got me to not only be a listening ear to hear different stories and, things like that, especially people's expertise in different industries, whether it's art, beauty, and fashion, but it's
Mm-hmm.
also too a place where, it's also talking about things that people don't want to talk about. And what I've learned, like, personally is, and I still learn, is to be fearless. You know what
Absolutely.
I mean? And not be afraid to talk about things that no one's going to talk about, because I think some of the things that, even like what Kyrie Pose on what she does,
Hmm.
what I mean? She talks about things that people don't talk about, you know what I mean? On the clubhouse space and things like that, so, I think that within the nail industry, there has to be more of that fearlessness in terms of not being afraid to touch on subjects that ain't as talked about, because I think that's something that people want and people look for in the
Hmm.
industry. You know what I mean? And it's not just like it's not just solely the positive, aspect of the industry, which is cool, absolutely shine light on the positivity, but also
Absolutely.
too, like, we have to challenge the industry too to make sure it's better.
And I think when you say that, because I have taken some time to definitely go through I'm in the beginning, but I'm going down the interviews that you have, which are amazing. And I mean, I'm meeting new nail techs and beauty professionals in art and fashion that I was like, oh, I didn't even know, they exist. So like you said, being able to have that space, and I think the fearless and the confidence is truly it, and saying what
Mhm.
sets us apart. So doing what you do, us doing We Talk Nails, and like you said, it's kind of like ruffling the feathers. Like, it's not in a bad
Yeah.
way, but let's talk raw. Like, let's talk it,
Yeah.
because nobody's talking about these things. And what happens, they're doing it everywhere else. They doing it from sports to politics to, so
Mhm.
why not?
Yeah.
When the beauty industry is so influential, that we don't have a big enough voice, and the only people that are having a voice, or if you are under Revlon, or you're under these mainstream large
Brands.
brands. But what about the small brands that are doing numbers that exist, right? What about the
Mhm.
smaller nail techs that are being successful that exist, but nobody knows who they are, even including myself? I'm going to be new to somebody who views this for the first time. And so, hey, hey.
Yeah, and the thing is that, like, the people that I've interviewed is not only, them sharing their expertise, especially a lot of nail techs and nail artists, sharing their expertise in the nail industry, but also too, I'm glad that there's people slowly and gradually, getting opening their eyes in terms of the industry, just as far as how some of these brands treat other nail artists and nail techs,
Mm.
and especially, certain nail influencers and things like that. Like, I've had a few nail artists and manicurists that talked about their store with a certain brand and how
Absolutely.
they were treated and things like that. So it's just like, just again, it's just, the more raw and honest we have these conversations and things like that, and have more of the mindfulness of taking action of, in terms of, being mindful of who we support, I
Hmm.
think that's better. It brings more awareness to the nail industry / community.
And because I mean, we've even had conversations in Clubhouse when I was like, I was totally out the loop on certain issues and things. And
Mhm.
not that I was just not paying attention, I just hadn't seen
Right.
nothing, like I just didn't know. But then when I started to research, and I'm like, hold on, because like you said, we need to be mindful of what we're supporting, and also understanding that you're a brand too. Just because I don't have um, a product that's a nail product doesn't mean that I'm not a brand, and I don't teach other
Right.
brands how to respect my business and how to
Right.
respect me in business. And I think that doing this allows, one, a safe space, for you to feel safe to talk uncomfortable and to have those uncomfortable conversations that are actually
Mhm.
healthy and are really, really fun. Like, I look forward to our Clubhouse conversations. I look forward to these type of podcasts and things like this, for us to really be able to get insight and talk and understand each other, and have a healthy, what's the word I'm looking for, a healthy controversy, right? You gonna feel one way, I'm gonna feel one way, but us being able to sit together and give our viewpoints on what we feel is happening or going on, or the topic at the time.
Yeah, absolutely, most definitely. Now, how have you been able to balance being a businesswoman with life and mental health?
Well, let me say this. Me being a mother come first, okay? So not only
Right.
am I a businesswoman, I'm a mother. So you put mother, fiance, business owner, and then the rest,
Right.
and then my mental health, right? And so what I
Mhm.
think, for me, which is a daily work, it's a daily work,
Mhm.
to give myself love every day. It is a daily work, and I'm continuously striving to prioritize my life better so that every
Mm-hmm.
piece of me, which will be that circle, gets the time and attention that it needs. And I think
Right.
at times, like I say this all the time, priorities change.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the priority this week might just be my family, and I have to put my business to the side. Then next
Right.
week, it might be just my business, and I just have to just make sure my family is good, and then I have certain things to tend to that are priority because I'm not just a nail tech. I own a
Right.
salon. I own a beauty
Mm-hmm.
brand. I'm also
Mm-hmm.
the Atlanta Spa Bar Shop chapter president for the largest Black beauty spa and health and wellness community, the Spa Boss Tribe. So I
Mm.
am in a leadership role there, which I'm
Right.
striving, and it's pulling a lot out of me and putting me in places that I've never been before, which is
Mm-hmm.
also pulling me in, growing me, right, as a woman, and allowing me in this change. I'm 36 years old, so I'm going through a lot of changes. I got a teenager and a kindergartner, you know what I'm saying? So I'm dealing with,
Right.
now
Mm-hmm.
rolling into high school, and, this next stage of beginning of life. And then, oh my God, I got 4 years left with my son. And so I think one of
Mm-hmm.
my biggest things that I've been working on, and I heard this in another one of your interviews, was my boundaries. And
Mm-hmm.
in this season of my life right now, it's now that I'm no longer people pleasing and I'm no longer chasing the dollar. Now I'm like stern on my boundaries. Now I am the dollar. So now money attracts me. I don't have to chase it and be anywhere and everywhere. I had to learn, and in setting those boundaries, I lost clients. And I think you talked about this one time in one of your interviews where it was like people give us no grace, right? I was
Mm-hmm.
that nail tech that would work. Well, you see, I was here at 6 in the morning, but I was that girl, and I'm talking, I was doing that all the time. So I was putting my son to the
Mm-hmm.
side, I was putting my family to the side, and I was like, I gotta go work. I gotta do this because this is what happens first. And then when life kicked me and I
Mm-hmm.
felt like things were crumbling for me personally, and I couldn't show up the way that I was accustomed to showing up, considering we give ourselves to everybody, right?
Right.
We are therapists, we are all of these things, and a lot of times
Mm-hmm.
we internalize so much because this appointment is about you. It ain't about me at this time. So your clients, they want to come and they want to dump, but you're also personally dealing because life exists outside of these four walls that I have. And I
Right.
went through a period where I really was dealing, and I lost
Mm-hmm.
clients because they gave me no grace.
Right.
They gave me no grace because I was late, because I moved my salon an hour away from my home, and I commute every day
Mm-hmm.
to what I thought was best, and trying to put me in a better environment, in a better situation. And, it was just those people that I thought had my back didn't. So then I had to learn, like, hey, I can't give to them. I have to give to me first. And
Right.
prioritizing
Absolutely.
me, my health, and now I'm on track to get myself back together, getting my weight and my health back, and actually putting me first right now is where I'm at, and understanding the importance of that, because if I'm not whole, nothing else around me can focus and function the way that it needs to function.
Mm,
And I think it's
absolutely.
just daily work. I think self
Mm-hmm.
care, mental health, that's a daily work. I'm a mentally strong person, but I also had to start understanding who I was as a woman and as a person, and the things that I needed. And so now I'm in that phase of life. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
understanding, oh, this is who I am and this is what I need. And then this is no longer what I am and what I have time to do, or sorry, I can't. And I'm like, oh no, I'm okay with saying no. And that takes
Mm-hmm.
a lot to get to.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Last but not least, where can people find you on social media and how can people support you in your business?
Well, first of all, you guys can follow me on TikTok and on Instagram at MyJNailz, and that's MYJNailz. And then also at www.myjnailz.com, where you can find all of my beauty brand. I also have It's Not Personal, It's Business t-shirts. I have anything from my body skincare line to digital products, as I'm moving into my business from the back office realm. So I'm really now honing into what's the next level for me and my business, and understanding that we need help with business. So I am now your business from the back office consultant. So if
Oh,
you,
wow.
yes, and I understood, like, your girl is not a coach, okay? I don't desire, but I had to understand and break down what that was. And so consulting is my perfect lane where I can help you solve a problem, and then we can move right along to what's next. And I'm still here for you after. I'm still just one call away, but I don't desire to coach outside of just teaching classes. But I'm understanding that we need business from the back office. And so you can find me everywhere at MyJNailz or MyJNailz.com.
All right, that's really, really great. Well, thank you so much, Jasmine, for
Thank
jumping on.
you.
I really appreciate our conversation. This was a cool conversation. Thank you so much for your insight and talking about your experience and your journey in the nail and beauty industry. So just keep up just keep up what you're doing, and keep giving back and things like that. And this was absolutely great. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was amazing. My pleasure.
Yes,
Thank
absolutely. Take care.
you. Yes, bye.
Hello, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to click the bell for notifications. Also, follow me on my social media platforms, and be on the lookout for more interviews to come very soon. Take care, stay healthy, and stay beautiful. Bye-bye.